Hi, I am Roberto. In this video, let's talk about self-primacy, and specifically, let's talk about a technique that you can use to control your self-talk. And as we know, self-talk is a way that we can use to exert control over our own behavior. And in this way, what I want to tell you is that, again, as we have discussed before, self-talk is just our internal speech, our internal dialogue with ourselves. So just basically the things that we think in a specific situation, in a specific moment. And again, if you're not yet familiarized with this topic of self-talk, you can watch my previous videos, especially the one where I talk from the perspective of behavioral science about what self-talk is and why it is important. But anyway, let's get right to business. Actually, what I want to focus on this time is a specific thought that we all usually have, and it has to do with how we conceptualize luck, the concept of luck. Okay, so a lot of people see luck as something that happens to everyone but themselves. You know, it's like something magical, something random, but that somehow it's never our turn to get. But just think, for example, that very often it happens that some of us think that to succeed, to be happy, to have some kind of milestone in our life, we need a certain degree of luck. And to be honest, in this video, I don't want to debate if this is true or not, because even from science, even I think in all kind of areas, there's a lot of discussion about the power of the will versus the forces of determinism. But let's leave that aside and let's just focus on how we think about, how we conceptualize luck, okay? And we have to think about how that affects our behavior. And you know, in other words, we're gonna improve our self-talk on the concept of luck to influence our behavior. So just think about this. How common is it that you think, oh, today was not my lucky day, or you are in a professional project and it did not go well, and you're like, I was just unlucky. The key here is that this kind of thinking does really more harm than good. You know, it kind of fools you, because you fool yourself by thinking that a performance result was really just by luck. You know, it was just because of luck. And obviously, what we want to do here, if we talk about this technique of how we can change, is what can you do to stop this non-functional idea of luck and replace it with something that is more useful. You know, let's not discuss if it's right or wrong. Let's just switch not useful to something more useful. And okay, in other words, we will redefine the concept of luck. So we can use that whenever we feel unlucky. It's that simple. And what is great about this is that we don't have to develop a novel, magical concept of luck. We can simply use what already exists. So we don't have to come up with something, because a better concept of luck is already there. And this concept that I'm going to tell you about, I actually got it from a book. It's a book from Robin Sharma, who wrote this book titled The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. It is a very famous book, I think, so if you don't know it, you should definitely check it out. But in this book, in broad strokes, the book is about a tale of two friends, and one of them has had a kind of a spiritual, I would say, mental enlightenment, and the other one is struggled with his life, with his way of thinking, with his way of life in general. So what happens is that, just to make it to the point, at one point they are talking about luck, and the concept of luck that Robin introduces in his tale is this. He says that luck is nothing more than the sum of preparation and opportunity. Okay? Luck is simply preparation plus opportunity. And this way of thinking is really what changes everything. Because let's think a bit about it, you know? This concept of luck, the first thing that it does is it recognizes your ability to act, your ability to do something, and to influence the situation in some way. Because yeah, of course, it is important that you find and that you have opportunities. Yes, and to do that, we need to go outside our bubble, we need to be outside our comfort zone, all of these things. But it also recognizes something more important, I think, which is that when the opportunity arises, it is important that when it finally comes, that you must be ready to seize that opportunity, and you must have prepared yourself for that. You must be ready in your mind, ready in your body to take the opportunity, to take it really in a way that can be effective, in a way that can be almost 100% chance or 90% chance that you get it. So when we think of opportunities, okay, you can think, for example, about situations where we are competing. In a competitions, maybe it could be a sports game that you did not win. It could be, I don't know, an academic grant that you're aiming for, or in one way or another, it's just a result that you expected to get, right? And in these situations, it's normal that we think, I just had no luck this time. Well, when that happens, what Robin Sharma teaches us in his tale is that you should focus on your part. You should focus really on being as prepared as you can be, because eventually you will just simply have to take and use the opportunities that you do get, And we can outline this with some dramatic examples. For instance, you could consider yourself lucky if you win the lottery, right? I think we all want that in one way or another, but just imagine how many people also come, I don't know, to win the lottery, or they just come to get a lot of wealth very fast, and then it does not work out for them. Why? Because they wasted, and maybe in some cases they end up in debt, they end up addicted to other things or to money itself, and they just simply end up in a worse situation than they were even before getting that. So the idea here is that what is the good in receiving a great opportunity if you are not prepared to really make use of it? And that is the key idea. That on the other hand, for example, imagine you have prepared yourself to get a specific result for days, for weeks, and even though you might not have yet received this opportunity, you don't have a real shot, a real opportunity to achieve your goal. When that happens, when you get the opportunity, you will most likely take it. You will most likely be able to seize it. And that means that you will probably be very successful when the opportunity comes. And we, again, like to think in a quite negative manner about us and be like, no, but I will never get the opportunity. You should be prepared. And that is one of the things that we can always do. Be prepared to do the best when the opportunity arises. And then we expose ourselves to those opportunities. Yes, that's, like I said, the second part. But if you are always focusing on yourself, if you're always preparing yourself, those opportunities will come, small or big. And yeah, sure, there is always a factor of chance, but it is in these specific situations when this concept of luck is even more effective, because there is a bit of chance, but you can always focus on your part. And if you are prepared, things go well when you are given that shot. So to excel, like I said, it means to be ready to seek these opportunities and to be prepared to really act on them once you get it. So let's summarize. And I think this is quite a simple technique about how to improve self-talk. It is, number one, you have to stop the not useful, the non-functional way of thinking about luck. And you can do that by replacing it with Robin Sharma's conceptualization of luck. Remember, preparation plus opportunity. It is as simple as that. So just to finalize, I hope this is useful to you. I hope this technique helps you in your daily life. Just remember again that this technique is not from behavioral science. It's not published in an article like that. It comes from a book. It comes from somebody experienced. And this is also very, very, very useful. So in this fact, I'm just wondering, if you have, first of all, if you agree with this idea, or do you disagree? Would you add anything to it? Would you remove something to it? What do you think? I think if you have an opinion about this, please put it in the comments and I will be happy to read about that. And again, if you enjoy this video, just stick around. There will be more videos coming about self-talk and other topics in behavioral science. If you want to read, check my blog. If you want to hear about other topics, check my podcast also. And please follow me on social media, and keep in mind the objective of this channel. We want to learn, we want to practice, we want to master, or we want to share techniques that we can use to exert control over our own behavior. So any way you can show me your support, I will greatly appreciate it. It will really motivate me to keep working on this. And yeah, so like I said, you have several ways to do that. Thank you for watching this video. See you around.